Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unmute, Create Your Digital Voice on LinkedIn. We are here today because LinkedIn is the largest B2B platform in the world, connecting 800 million people. If you want to be heard, you have to speak up. Come off mute. The sessions we've created here for you today are all designed to help you do just that in a way that's confident and comfortable. We want you to walk away feeling like you can speak up on LinkedIn. So I want to start off today by sharing a quick story. And really, it's the story of how I started getting active on LinkedIn. So I first posted on LinkedIn a link to an article that featured me. I didn't say anything in the article, in the post, right? I didn't say a thing. I just shared a link. And I got a couple of likes from coworkers, but it didn't create any opportunities for me. And that's really what we want to help everyone walk away from here today with, is the ability to share content on LinkedIn in a way that creates opportunities for you. It would take a couple more years before I would share something that helped me realize the power of LinkedIn. I was actually at a conference in Boston, and it was a health tech conference, and I was nervous. I was scared to talk to people, so I kind of hid behind a computer and feverishly took notes on all of the sessions. I did that instead of going and getting up and talking to people for the first couple of days. I called the marketing team at my company that I was working for at the time, and I said, hey, what do I do with all of this, right? Like, can you use it for a LinkedIn post or something from the company page? And my coworker and friend said, no. You go post something about your favorite session from yesterday. And I did. And I woke up the next morning and it was trending under the hashtag data. Not only that, the speaker ended up coming to my talk later in the week and eventually offered me a job, actually, as his chief of staff for a health tech startup. I didn't take the job, but I did keep posting on LinkedIn. And the reason I kept posting on LinkedIn was because I had created opportunities for myself, but I had also created opportunities for my company. That LinkedIn post garnered more opportunities for my business than the entire 5-day conference I was at. And I did end up getting up and starting to talk to people. So I can't blame it totally on, just not engaging with people that I was there with in person. Fast forward again a year or so, and I came across this guy, maybe some of you know him, Jake Dunlap. And he encouraged me to even accelerate the posting of content that I was sharing on LinkedIn. And eventually, I went to work for him. It got me hired. My engagement on LinkedIn got me hired at my company. I didn't submit a resume. I didn't submit a CV of any kind. It was my LinkedIn activity that spoke for itself. After 3 months of working at Skaled and posting consistently on LinkedIn, I had hundreds of thousands of views on the platform. And I went from 4 posts in a year with 10 comments to something like 50 or 60 posts and almost 500 comments in just a 3-month period. More compelling than that, I was getting inbound leads on LinkedIn because I was talking about the services and products that I provided. And that was resulting in real opportunities for me and my business. And that's what today is all about. It's coming off mute so that you can have the exact same results for yourself and your company. We've created sessions today that will help you speak up on LinkedIn, feel comfortable and confident doing so, and garner the type of results that you're looking to achieve. We're here to unmute. So with that, I see some of you are already doing this, but go ahead and drop in the comments section your name. Well, I guess your name's there, so you can skip that. Drop where you're joining us from, your LinkedIn profile, and maybe share something about why you decided to join today. Are you looking for a job? Are you looking to create more opportunities for your business? Once you do that, or while you do that, I'm going to go ahead and pull up the deck for today. So just give me about 5 seconds here, and we'll get started. Hey, Scott. Hey, Jen. Hi, Rick, Adam, Lou, Douglas, Annette, Brandon. It's great to see you all. All right. Okay. So today we're going to start off by going through the LinkedIn playbook. We're going to talk about some of the things that you should be doing infrequently on LinkedIn, like creating your strategy, and some of the things that you should be doing on a daily or frequent basis on LinkedIn to really set yourself up for success. After that, we're going to move into a workshop session to help you develop your LinkedIn strategy. You'll walk away from this session with a document that is your LinkedIn strategy. We do this one-on-one with our clients all the time. So we're gonna test it out in a group format and really help you all craft and create your own LinkedIn strategy here today. The next session will be a panel with a handful of LinkedIn experts to talk about the unwritten rules of engagement on LinkedIn. After that, we're going to move into another workshop session where we write content that converts. You're going to walk away from that session with a post that you can share on LinkedIn today. We are very serious about coming off mute. So we want everyone who's here today to share something on LinkedIn. I shared with you obviously a bit about my story of getting started posting content on LinkedIn. So as we move through the sessions today, if you hear something that really speaks to you, in addition to the specific posts that we'll create in this fourth section of the day today, post about it, talk about what we're doing here. I find that articles, conferences, all of those good things are a really good excuse, if you will, to show up, get active, talk about what you're learning and why you think it matters. The last session of the day is going to be with Jake Dunlap, and he's going to talk about how to use one of the most probably underutilized tools on LinkedIn, Sales Navigator, and how you can use it to connect, sell more, grow your audience, all of the things. If you don't have Sales Navigator already, we're going to be sharing a link for 2 months free subscription so you can get on Sales Navigator and move through this with us. At the end of the day, we also have a happy hour and networking session. The platform that we're on, Run the World, has a great interface for doing networking in like a round robin style fashion. So we hope you'll join us this afternoon with a drink in hand. All right. The LinkedIn playbook. So I want to start off just by mentioning why we're focusing so much on personal LinkedIn pages. Obviously, there are company pages too. And, much like when I called my marketing manager at my old company and said, hey, here's some stuff for you to post on LinkedIn, and she encouraged me to go post about it. It's really important to recognize that personal pages, they're active, they're engaging, they're alive, there's a face to it. People follow people. They want to connect with people on LinkedIn. So that's why we put so much of an emphasis on how you show up with your personal page on LinkedIn. Company pages are important. They create credibility, but they're more passive. There's no face there. So we're going to focus the rest of the discussion today on your personal page on LinkedIn. not your company page. Your company page is important, but it's a check the box. It's to create reputation. It's to show that you're there and you're active, but it doesn't create or facilitate the same kind of engagement and connection that personal pages do. So we're going to start off with a few things that you should be doing infrequently on LinkedIn. Infrequently, there's a different definition for every person. This might be something you visit quarterly. It might be something that you do twice a year. It might be something that you only need to look at once a year. It's up to you to decide based on where you're at in your professional journey. But the first thing, no matter what the question is, no matter what the thing is, if you're trying to decide, do I connect with this person or that person? Should I accept this connection request? Should I post this? Should I talk about that? The answer is always going to come back to what it is that you're trying to accomplish here. So it's really important to define a concrete goal for what you're trying to accomplish on LinkedIn, and that you're setting yourself up to accomplish that goal in all of the activities that you do on a regular basis here. So you might be trying to create your professional brand or voice. You want to be a thought leader in your space. You might have a slightly more specific goal of selling a certain amount of your services or products this year, or you might be looking to get a new job. No matter what it is that you're trying to accomplish, it's really important that you get specific about what you're trying to accomplish on LinkedIn, and make sure that you develop a strategy, which leads us into our next point. Make a plan, develop a strategy that really supports that goal that you're trying to achieve. The second session today is going to be all about developing your strategy on LinkedIn. And we're going to walk through a ton of different subsections to these bullet points here. But it's important to define who it is that you're trying to reach on LinkedIn and establish or determine that those people are actually here. It doesn't help us if the people that you want to reach aren't here and aren't active on LinkedIn. The next thing is to determine what types of value-added content you can be providing to your audience. Keywords here being value-added. When we think, and we'll talk a bit more about posting content, but when we think about the content that we're producing, it should be helping people. It should be inspiring people to do something, entertaining them, and most importantly, educating, especially buyers, on what it is that you do, why it's important, and really the entire sphere around the industry that you work in. The other important aspect of creating a plan is that it sets you up to be consistent. If you spend any amount of time on LinkedIn, you know or have seen that the people who find the greatest success there are very consistent. They show up every day. They are doing the things on a daily basis that we'll talk about in just a second that they need to be doing to have a voice, have it be seen, have it be heard. So we're going to talk a little bit about the third step here, just because we don't cover it in depth in any of the other sections today. The third piece of really showing up on LinkedIn in an intentional way, because all of the daily activities or frequent activities that we're going to talk about in just a moment are guiding people towards your profile. When people come to your profile, they'll make a decision about what action to take next. So it's really important, if you think about the content that you're putting out, the people you're connecting with, all of those things, all of those activities that you're doing on a frequent or regular basis are driving traffic back to your profile. So it's important that we get this piece right. Brian Galcia, who works at Microsoft, said this brilliantly: be a resource on LinkedIn, not a resume. Even if you're looking for a job, this applies. If you're looking for a job and you tell people, oh, I increased this percentage by this much over this amount of time, it's not as powerful as showing people, this is what I was trying to accomplish. This is how I did it. And these are the results I achieved. You have to show the entire process, not just the outcome. So when you think about being a resource on LinkedIn, you think about sharing value-added, educational, informative information. We're going to go through a couple of these different sections here, but when you think about your profile as a whole, there are a few different elements that are really important to think about. Of course, there's your photo. And one thing that I hear all the time is you don't have a photo, but then you get connected to someone and you see that they do have a photo. Make sure that your photo is public and that people that you're not connected to can see it. Before you've connected with someone, or when you send a connection request to someone, the couple of things that people see are your photo or don't see, and your headline. Your headline, we're gonna dig into this a little bit more in just a moment, but your headline needs to speak directly to who you help and how you help them. Once you've connected with someone, or once someone visits your profile, your cover photo is going to be the key visual element that's going to interest people, or it's going to be the first impression almost, right? They see your photo there, but that banner photo or cover photo is like a big piece of real estate up there. So how are you using it to further define your brand, why you're here, what you're about, what you can do to help people, what resources or value-added content you can provide to people? We're also going to dig into a little bit more about our About section and featured sections. But your About section, again, should be a resource. It should describe who you help, how you help them, how you're going to get them from point A to point B, what's your plan? And of course, give a little bit about you. But really, people are interested in you once they understand how you can help them, once they understand how they can fit you into a metaphorical box, if you will. Finally, your featured section is the most underutilized section of your profile, and so few people are using it, and it's so powerful, and it's going to be even more prominent as LinkedIn continues to make updates. I don't know how many people have heard of creator mode, but as LinkedIn continues to make updates, your featured section is going to become more and more prominent here. Okay, so your headline. A lot of people's headline just is a repeating of whatever it says in their, for their role, right? It just says CEO at Skaled. Don't do that. I don't know what Skaled is. I don't know why that matters or why that's important or not. Structure your headline in a way that lets people know how you can help them, what kind of impact your services provide, and what that unique value proposition is. I stole this one mostly, made a couple edits here, but from Alex Sheridan, who's a speaker later on today, helping you win clients and build an industry-leading brand on social media with killer video content. That's way more powerful than saying founder at impacts. So think about how you can structure your headline in a way that's compelling to people, in a way that tells people something about you and who you are and how you can help them before they've even gone to visit your profile, right? They'll see this when you send a connection request. So making this really specific about who you help and how you help them is a powerful way to get more people to accept your connection requests. The other section I want to just take a moment to talk about is the About section. The About section is the hardest thing to write on LinkedIn by far, by a factor of like 1 million. But it doesn't have to be so hard if we just reframe the way that we think about it. So a lot of people are like, it's like the top section, they're like intent on their resume. They're like, I've been in the industry for 45 years and I've done this and this and blah, blah, blah. And it's really, really boring. Don't do that. Start off in your first couple of lines, much like your headline, with telling me who you help and how you help them, because that's what's going to make me interested to read more. You want to help people understand that you understand them. Make me feel seen and heard when I come read those first couple of lines of your profile. I get that you're struggling to get the kind of results you know are possible on LinkedIn. It's frustrating. Let people know that you understand them. Once they feel seen and heard, once they understand that you understand them and that you can help them in a particular way, let them know the plan for getting them from point A to point B. This doesn't have to be crazy detailed. Some people push back on this because they're like, oh, people don't want to read that. They do want to read it. If they're clicking the see more button on your About section to read it, they're interested in you and what you're doing. So put that detail in there. At the end of your about section, it's completely appropriate to have a few lines about you, maybe don't repeat what's in your sections below about your past jobs necessarily, but it is appropriate to say, I'm passionate about this industry because this. On the weekends, I like to go hiking. I like to go skiing. Put in a couple of more personal tidbits there so that people can feel more comfortable reaching out to you. It's a lot easier for me to reach out to you and say, hey, what's up, Scott? I saw that you really like skiing. I really love skiing too. I almost gave away your secret, Scott. It's a lot easier to connect with people when you know a couple of little things about them. You let them see behind the curtain of who you are just a little bit. Finally, your featured section. This is my featured section. If you don't know how to get to this, all you have to do is go to any post on your profile. There's 3 little dots on the top. When you click those 3 little dots, it says feature at the top of your profile, select it, and then it's going to show up at the top of your profile. So the featured section is a great way to show the kind of living, breathing, dynamic elements of the content that you're putting out. And we're going to talk more about content in a second, but this is so important, right? Because this is the thing that people's eyes are drawn to when they come to your profile above your about section. This is the thing where people's eyes go. And this should have content, like I talked about a minute ago, that is educational to your buyers, that is relevant and timely, that tells people how you can help them, that shows the dynamic nature of your engagement and how you're showing up on LinkedIn. It provides credibility. It provides social proof, because if you're posting about something that's important in your industry and you see that people are engaging with it, it provides that social proof that, hey, this is legit, right? So make sure, if you don't have anything featured right now, maybe it's because you haven't posted anything on LinkedIn, but if you have posted stuff on LinkedIn, make sure you've added some posts to your featured section of your profile. If you haven't posted anything on LinkedIn yet, you will have by the end of the day today, so we'll circle back to this later on. Okay. Again, this is the 10,000 foot view. We're going to dig a lot deeper into all of these things over the course of the day. So if you're head is spinning, don't worry. If you're this is too basic, don't worry. We're going to dig deeper into all of this stuff as we move throughout the sections throughout the day. But I want to go through the 3 things. So we talked about the 3 things you should do infrequently, right? We should make sure we know what our goal is and we evaluate it regularly. We should make sure that we understand what it is, what our strategy is, how we're going to execute, how we're going to achieve that goal, and we should make sure that our profile reflects those things. Now I'm going to talk about the 3 things that we should do often on LinkedIn. And again, often is relative. For some people, this might be daily. For some people, it might be, a couple times a week. We'll talk more about that when we dig into your individualized LinkedIn strategy in the next section. But the first thing is post. And we've talked a little bit about this already. If you haven't posted anything on LinkedIn yet, don't worry. Hopefully you will have, or not hopefully, you will have all of the tools and things that you need to feel more comfortable and confident doing this by the end of the day today. But we want to focus on posting content on a regular and consistent basis to stay top of mind with our network. When you show up in someone's feed, you're top of mind for them, right? They might be connected to you, but they haven't thought about you in a while because, they've got stuff going on. But when you start showing up consistently at the top of someone's feed, you're going to be top of mind. So if you're posting content that's relevant to your industry, that's informative, that's interesting, that is educational, that is inspiring, people are going to engage with it, and you're going to continue to be top of mind with not only your network, but their networks, right? When someone else comments or likes on your post or your content you're putting out, their network might also see it. Organic reach on LinkedIn is incredibly powerful. So if you aren't already posting on some kind of regular basis, this is one of the things to incorporate into your daily or weekly regimen of LinkedIn activities. Before I move on to the second thing that you should be doing on a regular basis on LinkedIn, I want everyone to just take a second and think about who you're connected with on LinkedIn right now. A lot of times when I start working with someone, they're connected with people that they used to work with. They're connected with their friends from college, their coworkers, their past clients. But their content that they're putting so much energy and effort into isn't reaching the right people, isn't reaching the audience that they're trying to reach because they're not connected to them. And yes, LinkedIn has a tremendous organic reach, but you can't rely on that alone. We want to be proactive here. So the next thing that we should be doing on a regular basis is connecting with people. We need to evaluate, hey, in the context of what we're trying to accomplish on LinkedIn, how are we going to grow our audience in a way that reflects that? Proactively add your buyers, your decision makers to your network in a way that allows your content to get in front of them, that gets your profile in front of them. And I just want to share this quickly. We're going to go into Sales Navigator in depth later, but if you run a search in Sales Navigator, if anyone doesn't know, the cool thing about Sales Navigator is it has lots of different filters that you can use to generate these lists of people that you might be interested in adding to your network. And when you do that, you get, so this is a search that I did for people that are potentially my customers or my buyers. When you do that, you get this big number of results. But you can toggle along the top here and go to people who've posted in the last 30 days. So out of this, 670,000 people, 110,000 of those people have posted on LinkedIn in the past 30 days. This is a really powerful indicator to me. It's going to take me, the rest of my life maybe to go and connect with 670,000 people. But 100,000 people is a more manageable list to get through in, a year's time. By filtering over to people who've posted in the last 30 days, I have a kind of key indicator that these people are active and engaged on LinkedIn, and these are the people that I can reach on LinkedIn. I'm not saying, just because someone doesn't post doesn't mean that they're not reachable here, because a lot of times people aren't posting content. I think less than 1% of people are regularly posting content on LinkedIn, but this is a good way to say, okay, out of these 670,000, these people I know are active here. I know that they're my buyers. These are the people that I'm going to prioritize connecting with here. For a couple of reasons, because these are the people that are more likely to see my content, but these are also going to be the people that are going to be easier to reach when I go to engage with other people through content. And the last thing that we should be doing on a daily basis is engaging. Talk to your network. Go spend, 15 or 20 minutes every morning using that list of people that are your buyers that have posted recently on LinkedIn and comment on their stuff. Engage with their content. If you make someone else feel seen and heard, they're going to be interested in you, your products, your ideas, your services. They're going to be interested in you, and by extension, they're going to be interested in your company. So engage with people by commenting on their posts. Also make sure you're engaging with people when they engage with your content. So if you post something and someone writes a comment, it's really important to go comment back, right? We want to make sure that people feel and see this as an interactive, engaging place where they can actually reach you. And if you post content and then get 100 comments and never respond to any of them, it doesn't really feel like I can reach you here. So the 3 things that you should be doing or thinking about every day or every week on LinkedIn, whatever fits your schedule and your goals, are posting content, connecting with new people, and engaging with those people. When you do these things on a regular, consistent basis, you will establish yourself as a thought leader in your space. You will share the things that you're passionate about, the things that you're working on. You will stay top of mind. When you add new connections to your network, you're adding new opportunities, right? New opportunities to do business with someone, to partner with someone for a new job opportunity, whatever it is, you are creating or creating the potential for new opportunities. And finally, engage, talk to your network, spend time commenting and engaging with other people's content. And that will make them feel seen and heard. And also, make sure that you're responsive to the people that are reaching out to you here on LinkedIn. All right. I haven't been able to read through all of these comments, but I'm going to in just a moment. I want to just take 1 second here to make sure that everyone is familiar with the platform. So you're going to join each session individually today. So you'll jump out of this session, you'll go back to that main page with the whole list of sessions, and you'll jump into whatever session it is that you want to join. A couple of fun things about this platform. So people have been sharing their LinkedIn links over here. Make sure that you go engage with the people here. You know that all of the people that are here today want to get more active on LinkedIn, want to be talking on LinkedIn, and are likely to be engaging with your content, talking to you on LinkedIn. So go ahead, click through all of those profiles that people are sharing over here, add these people to your network, okay? Like these are people who are going to be active and interested in talking. So it's just a quick, easy way to start to grow your network today. These probably won't all be your ideal buyers, but it's just a good way to get some activity and engagement on your posts, especially if you're just starting out. So go ahead and do that, and that's under the comments tab. You can also see people's profiles. You can check out who else is in the room here. So if you want to go follow up with any person in particular, you can see people. People have filled out to varying degrees their profiles here on Run the World. A lot of people I see are sharing these reactions down here, right like at the bottom of the screen, just to the left of where you would put a comment. There's a haha button, an idea button, a clap button. So everybody do some reaction real quick to let us know you're here and you're engaged and you're happy to be here. Awesome. And then leaving the session is over on the bottom left-hand side of the page. And like I said, you'll just jump out of this session and go into the next session. So I'll put up real quick the schedule for the rest of the day today. Yes, okay, cool. Everyone's finding the reaction buttons. And I'm really curious to hear what people think of Run the World. I chose to use Run the World because it's a startup, female founded and run. There's a female CEO and CTO, which is pretty cool. It's a startup in Silicon Valley. There have been a couple little hiccups here just with some of the registrations, but for the most part, I think it's going swimmingly. So if you haven't heard of Run the World already, definitely check them out. We've had a really good experience and lots of great help. All right, so I'm going to just throw the agenda up here for the rest of the day. You'll have just a couple minutes to change sessions, take a bathroom break, grab a snack, and we'll see people back here at 12:45 p.m. Eastern, 10:45 my time.